What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, and we're here for episode 5, part 5 of our Madden 21 Flashback Rebuild with the Oakland Raiders. And this is a turning point for our squad as we left off right here at the draft with our top priority being we need to move on from JaMarcus Russell. It's just not working out. There's still some talent there. There's definitely still a team that might bite on a JaMarcus Russell trade. So before we can even jump into this draft, we need to find a way to move on from JaMarcus while still getting somewhat reasonable value in return. So I was able to find a good trade that worked out well for our team to give JaMarcus Russell still a chance at success, but not with us. So we're going to send JaMarcus Russell and Austin Howard, who's a 72 star dev tackle, but clearly out of rotation here, for a very high second round pick 33 from the Miami Dolphins, as well as Tyson Alualu, only a 74, not a prolific defensive tackle, but given the fact that he's easily better than 2 of our starting D tackles that we would have entering next season, still kind of young, a chance to develop a reasonably solid ceiling. I think this was pretty solid business here, knowing that we weren't ever going to get a first round pick in return for JaMarcus Russell. So after the trade, here is where our team is looking like. We can't exclude the quarterback spot really as a position that we will draft. You know, it's still a concern. I have very realistic expectations for Blaine Gabbert as a 76 normal dev quarterback. You know, he is 23. There's a chance that he's the spark that we need, but there's also the chance that he's absolutely not, and he's unfortunately the same Blaine Gabbert that we've seen play out in real life. But we do know that JaMarcus Russell had trade value, and the time was now to move on. Looking at the rest of this draft, guard is a massive need for us. Our current guard is Mike Person. Very 2020. Very 2020 name right there. I'm not a man or a woman. I'm Mike Person. But left guard, we could also look at, on the defensive side, defensive tackle, even though we brought in Tyson Alualu, you can see the player that we're getting is kind of limited. I mean, he's actually was like a guy that got drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars in real life, and he didn't really pan out. I mean, he's playing his best football probably right now, the back end of his career with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But, you know, he's still, you know, it's not, you know, we need some help. We still need some help with defensive tackle. Outside linebacker, could bring in a third corner to challenge Brandon Boykin. That being said, it's time to get in the draft, man. We're moving on from JaMarcus Russell. We have 2 second-round picks, a first-round pick. Let's make some moves. So very quick refresher, 2013 draft is now here and alive. Eric Fisher originally in real life went first overall. That's Deion Jordan, Lane Johnson. A lot of busts. There are a lot of busts, so I definitely view this as an opportunity that potentially, if the right name falls to us at a position of need, that we could have another chance at a career revival. Because for every JaMarcus Russell, we have a Darrius Heyward-Bey, who's a superstar dev trade. So let's move on to our pick and see what the draft board looks like. It's a pretty good draft board. It's a pretty good fall of the draft board here, fellas. I mean, we have E.J. Manuel at quarterback. Like, this is like, now we're at a point, like, when we did the old Flashback franchise and stuff, those were draft classes, like, that I never really followed. Especially, like, you know, I didn't start following the draft till, like, 2012, 2011, somewhere in that range. But, like, these draft classes, like, I remember I could not believe E.J. Manuel went in the first round. So, understanding that when I make my picks, we need D-tackle, Sharif Floyd from Florida. There's a lot of Gator bias. I did like him. I thought he was a tad overrated just because he was a little bit undersized and more of a, I thought he was going to be more so a 3-4 defensive end. DeAndre Hopkins is here, and I'll tell you right now, he actually wasn't my favorite wide receiver. Like, at this point, I was like all about Keenan Allen. I thought Keenan Allen was sensational at Cal, and if he's still there, I will draft him. But while we all know how good DeAndre Hopkins is, you look at our wide receiver core, there's no way at pick 21 we'd be drafting a wide receiver right now. Knowing that Heyward-Bey's 85 superstar, we have an 83 star in Murphy, an 83 Golden Tate. We have a very stellar wide receiver core. So really right now, the top name would be, where's our big board here? I think, given that this is our board, given that there's no guard we're taking right at this point, I mean, there could be Frederick, and then we kick him inside to guard. He's an early second-round talent, but he's a center, and that's getting a little. We're gonna get big play Slay. I need another corner for sure on our team. He's a legitimate first-round caliber player. So Darius Slay, welcome to Oakland, and it's a little bit of a reach. Number 32 in true value, getting him at pick 21. 74 with a hidden dev trait, 93 speed, 94 acceleration, great agility, good man coverage, solid jumping. Hey, I'm still happy with it. All right, this is good news. As part of our trade with JaMarcus Russell, we actually have the first pick in the second round, which is a little bit unfortunate because we see DeAndre Hopkins still there, and knowing that we absolutely don't need a wide receiver right now, that's kind of brutal, but that's the fun of doing, you know, a hindsight draft. Zach Ertz is there. See, we don't really need a running back. Geno Smith, I know if this was me in the moment, I would have picked Geno Smith, but quarterback's not. Like, we need to go, we need a guard. You look at the offensive line, Terran Armstead, we got second round talent there. We could kick him. Larry Warford. Brian Winters got second round. David Bakhtiari, maybe we wouldn't be reaching that far. D tackle, K'Wan Short. That's actually probably the pick. Looking at all these guys, looking at realistic picks, knowing that, oh my God, I should have got Honey Badger. I didn't even think about that. He was like one of my favorite players of that draft. Now, all right, we got Darius Slay, and I think we'll follow up with K'Wan Short, first pick in the second round, improving our D tackle. 71 hidden dev, still not a great pick. Madden 46 in true value, getting him at 33. Yikes. Okay, we're back here with our second round pick, and I'll tell you right now, like, I would not. I'm doing this for me. Armstead makes the most sense, but if I was 100% leading a board right now and this was it, I'd be like, I had a first round grade at Honey Badger. I'm gonna grab him, move him to safety or something like that. But he's 100% a player that if I was a general manager in the 2013 draft, I would have drafted Honey Badger at pretty much any cost. So we're grabbing. Obviously, if you don't know anything, he had to get kicked off LSU, had some off the field issues. I was like, this is one of the greatest college defensive backs I've ever seen. So we're bringing him in. So draft recap time. Obviously hit on our very first three picks. Darius Slay will be an outside corner. K'Wan Short will have an opportunity to become a starting defensive tackle. And then we got Honey Badger, who will figure out where his best position is going to be it slot corner, be it safety, something in between. He will find his way to get on the field. After that, we got Gerald Hodges. 66. I'm not going to lie. Pretty much made this pick because he was a linebacker that fit our scheme. Same with John Simon, a defensive end out of Ohio State. That's not a bad pick, 66 normal. Whiffed on a guard. Desperately needed a lineman. Waited way too long. I thought Ryan Jensen, who spent some time with the Ravens, now is the starting center for the Bucks, would be available like 6th round, 7th round, somewhere in that range. He was gone. So, we still have a massive hole at left guard. But, I finished up here with, we only had a couple UDFAs scouted. One was Jack Doyle, obviously, because you know about him. And that's not a bad pick. 63 with a hidden dev. A long ways to go. But, in today's NFL, the last couple of years, Jack Doyle, at least when he was at his peak with the Colts, he was one of the more well-rounded tight ends in the NFL. So I'm happy that we have him here to be our tight end 3. But still, good draft. And we got some name value here in Slay, Short, and the Honey Badger. So to try and solve our offensive line issue and to make space for Honey Badger to get the field, we have Tyvon Branch. I'm going to try and make this trade. I don't know if it's going to work. But Tyvon Branch, who is a 79 star dev, he's only 26 zone. He's not bad, certainly. But, when you have someone like this, Vlad Dukas, 6'5", 330, absolutely can kick in the guard. Like, built like a guard. Also has a dev trait, 1 year younger. If we can make this deal, oh my God, they have zero interest. What if I, throw in a 4th round pick? God damn it. Okay, I tried to improve our team. It just wouldn't happen. So usually for the gameplay portion of this, we like to kind of wait, get into the season, get an idea where it's at. Let's go right away. Week 1, divisional rival on the road at Arrowhead. Blaine Gabbert's first official start as the quarterback here of the Oakland Raiders. What do we have to lose? Open a drive, 3rd and 1 midfield. Blaine Gabbert, our first pass attempt of the game. Let's see how this goes. All right. Oh, a cannon! A cannon from Blaine Gabbert. Let's go! 49 yards to Lewis Murphy. Oh, JaMarcus. Oh, who needs JaMarcus when you got McFadden? Darren McFadden. I mean, this is a divisional game, and it's always been about Jamal Charles. When you talk about the running backs in this matchup, in this era, and goddamn Darren McFadden wants his name. He wants some respect on his name. Hell of a touchdown run to tie this game up at 7 apiece. Just let it hang. Oh, he doesn't have enough. That was JaMarcus. We might have got... I am God! I may be a passing god, but we all know if you've watched my videos for more than a year, I'm probably the worst clock management in all of YouTube. So, let's see if we can... Oh, all going to be shots to the end zone. No chance for it to get picked. No chance for a sack. Let's just get a couple more shots in here. Worst case scenario, we'll bring on Seabass to give us that halftime lead. But Garrett is slinging it. Oh, no. Quick. Quick. Hot the ball.
Fucking bullshit.
We're just gunslinging it, man. Absolute gunslinging it like he's back at Missouri. We'll go McFadden out the backfield, looking for contact, and he gets it up to the 1 yard line. Gabbert, 10 of 14, over 200 yards, looking real damn good right now. Reese out the backfield, Danny Woodhead, Heyward-Bey, Murphy. That's not what we're looking for. Kick it. 3rd and 3. Actually, I don't. Oh, I want to. They have a perfect defense here, I think, for the screen pass. Let's just get it right in there to Heyward-Bey, who you now need to remember. You hear Heyward-Bey like I was a bust. You gotta remember in this world, he's made the most of his first round billing and is a legitimate wide receiver 1 in the NFL. All right, we have the slant at the top of the screen. 2nd and goal from the 11. We can hit it. I'm gonna try. Not enough time. Blaine Gabbert got blown up in the pocket, and the Chiefs coach is doing the Arthur meme. The clenched fists Arthur meme. Okay, let's see what we got here. 3rd and goal on the 11. A, might have been B. Oh, we go back to Golden Tate in the middle of the field, and he makes the grab. That's a veteran move, keeping your eyes downfield like that for Blaine Gabbert as the get me call him Vegas. The Oakland Raiders regain the lead. The defense gets a stop, 2:40 to close this game out. Let's make sure Kansas City does not have another chance on offense. Oh, look at that! They let him win it with his legs. Blaine Gabbert, congrats! First start, first win. Hell of a debut. 66% completion percentage. Outduels Cam Newton, 355 yards, 2 touchdowns in the day. A lethal connection with Heyward-Bey. One of the best catches we've had so far in this rebuild. And Blaine Gabbert might be our answer at quarterback. Remember Blaine Gabbert, everybody? Let's take a peek at the 2014 NFL Draft, a draft where if you certainly needed a wide receiver, it was a good year. We're looking at quarterbacks. There's some interesting quarterbacks for sure. Blake Bortles, Johnny Manziel, Teddy Bridgewater. We're the Raiders. Derek Carr becomes available. Jimmy G, a channel legend in the 5th round. Other round, it was a weak running back class. I mean, there were some memes. Remember Dree Archer, huh? But Devontae Freeman is there. But this was the draft of the wide receiver. Sammy Watkins, Mike Evans, OBJ, Brandon Cooks. There's some lesser guys in there, sure. But you also got throwing Devontae Adams, Allen Robinson, Jarvis Landry, John Brown. We probably will try and end up with one of those guys. For sure. Why not, right? We'll attempt to anyways. But understanding what our team's needs are. I remember actually, the one thing I remember of this draft class, because no one knew for sure that these wide receivers are all going to be hits, was that Eric Ebron was supposed to be like the next big thing. Like everyone was like, he's the can't miss player from this year's draft class. Kind of almost like the same level like people are talking about Kyle Pitts in this 2021 draft class. But looking at where we know we need to get better, guard, like Zach Martin instantly is the first guy we're going to scout. We desperately need to improve at that guard spot. We have Su'a-Filo here. Gabe Jackson, also a Raider right now. Trey Turner, first round grade. So they're a bunch of options there at guard if we want to pull the trigger. I mean, even looking at this, I think Muhort kicked into guard when he was with the Indianapolis Colts. Really, any lineman here could very well be, slow. And that's what I'm going to do. We'll just scout our lineman here because guard is the biggest priority for our team. There's also, we got Khalil Mack, D. Ford, Jadeveon Clowney, Tank Lawrence, Aaron Donald, Anthony Barr, Ryan Shazier, C.J. Mosley. Not the guy the Philadelphia Eagles ended up picking in the first round. Thanks, Chip Kelly. Couple hits or misses here in the first round at cornerback. Gilbert, Fuller, Denard, Jason Verrett, Bradley Roby. We have Pryor, Clinton Dix. Oh boy, did I ever want Calvin Pryor in this draft. And that didn't really work out. But it's an interesting draft class. Can't wait to get to the end. Biggest question for us will be, are we going to be thinking about a quarterback? Or is, old Blaine Gabbert going to find a way to navigate this 2013 season and establish himself as QB1 in Oakland? So we got a good idea, great sample size of what this team kind of will look like with Blaine Gabbert at quarterback, and it's not great. 4-7 here, week 13 in the 2013 season. We'll look at the stats and all that stuff at the end. We got some contracts here up for grabs. We got Leckler still looking. We might as well keep riding him in for a 1-year deal if we'll keep taking it. Thomas Howard, outside linebacker, looking for a 2-year deal. We don't have anyone to really replace him just yet. So I think we'll try to get a contract extension there. Golden Tate as well. Even though it's a strong year for wide receivers in the draft, we obviously want to try to keep and retain our own. We just traded for Alualu, so that's probably why they were so easy to throw him in that JaMarcus Russell trade, because they weren't planning on re-signing him anyways. So it'd be pretty dumb not to attempt to re-sign him. But looking at the rest of these guys, they're just depth players. We don't really need them. We can replace them in the draft. I'm optimistic of that. So I do want to try to re-sign Alualu and Thomas Howard, as well as Shane Leckler. Surprisingly, we were able to finish out the year kind of on a positive note. Even though we lost that Week 17 game against Cleveland, we won a couple in a row, finished 7-9, a little bit more competitive, and maybe enough was done for us to not burn a first-round pick on a quarterback here with Blaine Gabbert. In terms of depth traits, though, we did have a couple new ones to find out, more so on the defensive side of the ball. Honey Badger came out with a superstar dev trait. K1 Short, star dev trait. Darius Slay, star dev trait. Also, K1 Short only went up like 2 points in terms of overall. So a little bit underwhelming, but I knew when I wanted Honey Badger, and I'm glad that we did bring him in. That's a lot of gold on the defense. I like gold. Does anyone watch Austin Powers? Does anyone remember Austin Powers, for God's sakes? But let's look at the team. 7-9, not where we want to be. Regressed a little bit. Maybe starting to question what would happen if we still had JaMarcus Russell. Looking at Blaine Gabbert, doesn't look like a bad year. I'm surprised. 4,300 yards, 30 touchdowns, 9 picks. It's weird that 30 touchdowns is 19th in the NFL. Like, in today's NFL, you throw 30 touchdowns, you're probably in the 10 to 15 range, like middle of the park, not 20th. So it's definitely not going to help us getting him a dev trait. Does everyone just have a good quarterback? Like, everyone's just throwing for 30 plus touchdowns nowadays. My God. Well, at least we made the right decision. JaMarcus Russell, underwhelming year. So, we're progress. We're further ahead, but quarterback, all right, we got to figure it out. 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns for McFadden. I'll take it. 1,000 yards, almost 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, Heyward-Bey, almost 1,000 yards for Golden Tate, 7-7, Zach Miller, 7-6, Lewis Murphy. Defensively, Morrison and Howard, again, just leading the team in tackles. That's what they do. 8.5 sacks, Ryan Kerrigan, solid. Interceptions, I thought would be better with the secondary that we have. 2 picks, Namdi, 2 picks, Jack Rabbit. We have the number 4, the number 4 offense, a top 5 offense. You're probably not going to move on from Blaine Gabbert. Jay Cutler is the MVP. You? In the AFC, probably not going to have a whole lot, if anything. No representation from the Raiders for the individual awards, but top 5 offense. First year of Blaine Gabbert as a starter, top 5 offense, which to me at least says, unless a quarterback for sure slips into the second round, that's a bona fide first rounder, we're probably going to continue to rock and roll with Blaine G. Before we get into free agency, I'll have to be honest. I'm going to expose myself. I have been nerfing the outside linebacker, dev trade cheese. Howard, I think 3 times I've just been like, you're not an X factor. I'll keep you as a superstar. But you know what? He's 31. He's going into the twilight of his career. He's averaged 100 tackles plus every year he's been there. Let's reward him for consistency, and I'll keep him at that dev trade. So as we enter free agency, if there was like a major upgrade at quarterback, I would consider it. We have Palmer and Michael Vick. That's not really what I'm looking for. We could use an RB2 behind Darren McFadden, but I think that's going to be better suited for the draft. We're good at wide receiver. Gronk's there at tight end. That could be interesting. On the offensive line, more so someone that can kick into left guard. Dielman on a 1 year. We view it as like a 1 year deal, but I feel like we're so obvious need a guard. That should be like our first round pick, knowing that we're not going to grab a quarterback. Let's just get a young guy that we could build around. Dukas, who we tried to trade for, is actually a free agent now. We'll see if we can land him, actually. 26, 27, 20. We'll give him a 3-year deal. We have money to spend. There's no point just, considering to sit on the sideline. So, yeah, we'll come in, get a better bid than the Colts. You look at the defense. It's not much. Outside linebacker, not much. We could even debatably move Vontaze Burfict out there to left outside linebacker to compete with Casey Matthews because he does have the dev trait. We're very good at corner, even though everyone here is a veteran. We don't need any of these guys. We're okay at safety. Ooh. No, we're good at safety. We're fine on special teams. If we can get DeCoste, that's fine. If not, pencil in right guard, left guard is one of our top needs in the draft. Looking at you, Zach Martin. Okay, we're able to land Vlad Dukas in free agency. We're going to kick him into left guard, and here's hoping that Zach Martin isn't like BPA in the draft, or else this is just a waste of money. All right, we're going to end here at the draft, but we will get an idea of who is available, and because we have pick 8, lots of guys. We wanted to grab a quarterback. Manziel, Bridgewater, and Carr are there. We wanted to grab a wide receiver. Mike Evans, OBJ, Brandon Cooks are still there. I'll tell you what, fellas. I am not recording after this. You guys will have a chance to give your input in as to who we draft in the first round. I'm going to need help. Matthews, Luan. Guards are still there. Zach Martin, of course, is still there. Great, awesome, phenomenal. D Ford, DeMarcus Lawrence. I don't think there's any more discussion where we need to go, considering D-tackle is still a need. Alu, even though we traded for him, we got K1 short. He's the only guy with lots of upside. Lulu doesn't have any dev trait. Shazier Mosley are there for sure. All the top corners, for the most part, are still there. The safeties are there. Let's be honest, though, ladies and gentlemen. Don't mess this up. Don't make me not do this. Don't make me not do that. But, again, I'm getting ready to go work out, do a little P90X. So this is only the video that I'm uploading today. I'm recording today. So get at me in the comment section below. Who should we grab? Pick 8. 2014 NFL Draft, Mike Evans, OBJ, Aaron Donald, Shazier, Zach Martin. There are a lot. Manziel. There are a lot of players that are very interesting at this point in time. So make sure you get your votes in. Like the video, fellas. Smashing the likes. That's all I ask for on these videos in return. If you are enjoying my content, if you're enjoying this series, subscribe if it's your first time stopping by. And we'll be back probably in a day or so, maybe even tomorrow, depending on the feedback that we get, how much it rolls in with part 6 of the Raiders Flashback franchise. But thanks so much for watching. See you guys on the next one. Peace out.